Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The VA may have problems awarding your claim and paying you, but they sure did not have problems administering $10.8 million to senior executives. Now, this was, I guess, inappropriate and potentially fraudulent. I mean, who knows? But let's read this OIG report talking about how the VA improperly awarded $10.8 million in incentives to central office senior executives. Now, this was an OIG report that came out, and I just got this on, May 9th. So here we are on 5/9/2024. So want to jump through this with you. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Now, if I recall, this is either the same thing that's just getting more exposure from, 6 months ago, or it's a new one. I think that it may be the same situation, but just some further investigation by the OIG. Now, my thought here is, what if this was never really, I guess, uncovered? Would it just go, I got extra money in my bank account and move on with life? Or was there a whistleblower, or did somebody say, hey, I don't know why I got this, and let's put this back in the kitty? What's going on? Is really what it is. So let's jump through it here. The headline directly from the Office of Inspector General for the Veterans Affairs. Here we go. VA improperly awarded $10.8 million in incentives to central office senior executives. Again, this came out 5/9/2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And moving into this, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a press release or not, but the release from the OIG. In September of 2023, so whatever that is, 7-8 months ago, VA announced it had erroneously awarded millions of dollars in critical skill incentive CSI payments to senior executives at its central office. VA canceled the payments, notified Congress, and requested the Office of Inspector General review the matter. CSIs, so again, CSIs are critical skill incentives, and from my knowledge, what they're supposed to be utilized for is to keep and maintain your staff of people that have critical skills, and either as I think, and we'll find out, either as a recruiting incentive or a retention incentive. Not sure. Could be both. So let's find out here. CSIs are a new recruitment and retention tool authorized by the PACT Act, which significantly expanded access to VA healthcare and benefits for veterans exposed to toxic substances. CSIs, which again, critical skill incentives, are meant for an employee who possesses a high demand skill or a skill that is at a shortage. So in other words, it's a way for the VA to compete, quite frankly, with the private sector, because in a lot of ways, they don't really do that good of a job competing with the private sector. Now, granted, there are some good things like, FERS or stuff like that as far as retirement systems, where a lot of employers don't offer that. So, but it's just another way to incentivize employees to work for and stay with the VA that are in these critical type roles. So let's move on. Now, they're supposed to be used for the high demand skills or the skills that are at a shortage to help the VA meet a projected increase in staffing requirements. In total, VA awarded $10.8 million in CSIs to over 182 senior executives. So 182 senior executives, and I don't know. Are they GS 14s, 15s? Are they on the executive schedule? I don't know. Could be ranging a few different things with 182 of them. So 182 senior executives, ranging from nearly $39,000 to over $100,000 each in the Veterans Healthcare Administration and the Veterans Benefits Administration at the VA central office. The OIG found the award of CSIs to nearly all VHA and VBA central office executives lacked adequate justification and was inconsistent with the PACT Act and VA policy. This was due in part to breakdowns in leadership, go figure, and controls at multiple levels of VA, including, and there's several bullet points here, 4 bullet points. So first one, insufficient transparency from VHA, which is Veterans Healthcare Administration, regarding the scope and costs of its CSI plans for VA CO senior executives. The next bullet point here, number 2, excessive difference by VA's human resources and administration/operations, security, and preparedness leaders to undersecretaries and other senior leaders despite concerns that they or their staff had about the incentives. The third one here, third bullet point, missed opportunities by the Office of General Counsel to detect legal issues with the CSIs before payment. And lastly, the fourth bullet point, failure to leverage VA's existing governance processes to ensure proper risk management of the new CSI authority. There's a last little paragraph here. It states, VA concurred with the OIG's 2 findings and 8 recommendations and provided acceptable action plans and completion times. The OIG will monitor VA's progress until sufficient documentation has been received to close the recommendations as implemented. So basically, now the OIG is going to essentially be the, I guess, accountability action figure for the VA to ensure that they don't go down this road again, that they actually have some sort of method in place and a double check in place for these incentives to go out. The fact that they were able to slip out $10.8 million with supposed second sets of eyes and check marks on these incentives and get those into the pockets of 182 senior executives with a range of $39,000 to $100,000 each is a bit ridiculous. I can't believe that happened. I mean, I guess I can. It's I guess my thought here is that the VA is not super thorough unless they're denying you, of course. Then they're super thorough. They need to be more thorough with how they administer their CSIs, as well as how they actually function claims, really, and really look at the information. And on the claims side of it, which this isn't about, it just makes me think of it, is when the evidence is in equipoise, they're supposed to rule in your favor, but how many times do they not do that and end up denying you, and then you push it through to the board and the board rules in your favor? If the VA got it right, the board would never, ever rule in your favor, but the VA gets it wrong a lot. With that, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.